Throughout my life, the 10 rings gave our family power.
Whoa, pause the video. If you're anything like me, you're probably wondering, who is Shang-Chi and what is the legend of the 10 rings? And what the hell are they doing in the Marvel Universe? Well, after doing a little bit of research, turns out this place is based on the Chinese Wakanda, based on dragon power, dragons from outer space. I'm going to break down that a little bit later. And this is like Mortal Kombat meets Mulan. This movie is going to be so intense. After doing some research, I am so jacked up. Stay tuned for 9 characters you got to know before watching this movie. And I'm even going to give you a breakdown on what the 10 rings are. But first, let's finish the trailer.
If you want them to be yours one day, you have to show me you are strong enough to carry them.
You are a product of all who came before you. The legacy of your family. You are your mother. And whether you like it or not, you are also your father.
I told my men they wouldn't be able to kill you if they tried. Glad I was right.
You're just a criminal who murders people.
Be careful how you speak to me, boy.
I thought I could change my name, start a new life. But I could never escape his shadow.
My son, you can't run from your past.
Is this what you wanted?
You got this.
Thank you.
I want them to be yours one day. You have to show me you are strong enough to carry them.
You got this.
Is this what you wanted?
Up at number 1, who is Shang-Chi? Now, he's our main character, so we're going to learn a lot about him as we go along. So we're just going to touch base on a couple of details that you got to know about him. Number 1, he's a master of Kung Fu. This guy has the highest fight IQ in the Marvel Universe, and he's incredibly fast. Shang-Chi is actually a master of Qi, too, which is going to allow him to surpass the limitations of a normal human being. He has no superhuman powers, but because he has dedicated his life to martial arts, he's capable of doing some crazy things. In the comics, Shang-Chi was raised to be a deadly assassin by his father, the immortal crime lord and sorcerer Fu Manchu. But after he figured out his father's real evil intentions, he then starts to fight his father. In this storyline, it looks like he disappears from his father and tries to live a normal life for about 10 years, until his father comes after him again for what seems to be his bloodline.
You can't out.
At number 2, Shiwa. She is the sister of Shang-Chi. They grew up together and were trained together. But after breaking into one of her father's forbidden laboratories, he burned her face and sent her off to Russia, to the House of the Deadly Hammer. Shang-Chi thought that his sister was dead, and after he left and abandoned the house, his sister was then brought back, became champion of the house, but she was unfavorably compared to her older brother Shang-Chi by her father everywhere she went, making nothing she could do good enough. This was making her hate her brother. So we can only guess by the trailers that her father sent her to go retrieve her brother. Ooh, I bet you guys did not expect there'd be dragons in this movie. The dragon you're seeing right there is known as the Great Protector, Fin Fang Boom, aka he whose limbs shatter mountains and whose back scrapes the sun. Fin is an alien dragon that came here because he was so bored on his planet that he needed to seek and conquer a new one. But after crash landing on Earth, it's said that he buried himself in the sea to protect himself. The other dragons changed into humans and took other forms. Now, the 10 rings are actually what powered Finn's ship to get here and what he uses as an energy source. Very similar to the Wakandans' vibranium. Wait a minute. Is that who I think it is? At number 4, we have Abomination. You guys remember him from The Incredible Hulk. Now, he is basically a rogue version of the Hulk. He's got spikes out of his back, and you can see some webbed ears above his head, which is exactly how he's supposed to be portrayed. We got a watered-down version of him in The Incredible Hulk. You guys remember Captain Emil Blonsky as the commander of the British Royal Marines. Now, his bloodthirst and his hunger for more power is what caused him to continuously inject himself to become this monstrosity. Now, along with all of the Hulk's abilities, superhuman strength, superhuman durability, speed, stamina, he also has all that special military training that's going to make him so deadly. Now, where has he been since The Incredible Hulk? The rumor is that he's been in a SHIELD facility in Alaska after being denied into the Avengers Initiative. Up next at number 5... Wait, hold on a second. Who is that getting their butt kicked by Abomination? Wait, that's Wong. Okay, you guys remember Wong from Doctor Strange. Now, Wong is a master of the mystic arts. What is he doing in a tournament of champions? It makes sense for Abomination to be there, but why would Wong be there? He's got much more specific duties to take care of that are way more responsible. Now, unless that has something to do with the Mandarin and the 10 rings. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that Doctor Strange sent Wong here to try and retrieve the 10 rings to maybe protect the universe or something along those lines.
I told my men they wouldn't be able to kill you if they tried. Glad I was right.
Up next, we have Fu Manchu, or is it the Mandarin? Will the real Mandarin please stand up? Please stand up. It turns out that this is the actual Mandarin that was responsible for Iron Man 3. And so he wasn't truly the father of Shang-Chi in the comics. Marvel's actually decided to morph the Mandarin and Fu Manchu together and make him one character. I love the plot twist. It's going to bring it all together. It's going to make the movie so much more exciting. So let's talk about some of the things that the Mandarin can do. The Mandarin is a genius scientist and a skilled martial artist, and most of all, a megalomaniac. Many times he's tried to conquer the world and the planet, but his number one thing that he hates Iron Man. So now that there's no Iron Man, I'm going to guess that he's going to try and take over the world. The only thing that keeps him from being a true savage is that he has a great sense of honor. It's going to be interesting to see how much of Fu Manchu's personality comes out in the Mandarin, or is it going to be all the Mandarin? Now, it seems to me that this is going to have a very similar storyline to Guardians of the Galaxy 2. The only difference is it seems that the Mandarin is actually going to care about his child's life. Now, one thing for sure is that the Mandarin is technically immortal, and he uses the power of the 10 rings, making him a huge foe to anybody on the planet Earth, especially the Avengers. So we're going to see how this is going to tie in. You know there's going to be some monster Easter eggs leading into this. At number 7, we have Death Dealer, Li Chin Lin. He was a former agent working for M16, who was actually a double agent really working for Fu Manchu. Now, in the comics, there's not a lot known by Death Dealer. He uses triple-bladed knives, and he has this obsession with playing cards. A lot of times he leaves cards as a trail, and Shang-Chi uses them to track him down. And it's kind of like a samurai Joker in a sense. So they really have an open playing field with this character, but we know he's bad. At number 8, we have Razor Fist. Now, this is either played by Douglas Scott or William Scott. They're brothers. In the comics, Douglas Scott starts out until he dies, and William Scott takes over. So as the story goes, Douglas Scott gets his hand cut off, and he replaces it with these swords, these razors that are retractable. And he uses that for a while, and then he ends up cutting off his own hand, and he becomes double-bladed with 2 swords for hands. He's a mercenary and an assassin, and as you can see in this video, he still has the one hand, so he's only going to be using one blade. But we'll see. Maybe he'll cut that off as the story goes on.
Start a new life.
At number 9, we have Shang-Chi's friend Katie, who is an original character, and it seems to be just comic relief that she's added on until on accident her toy was released a little bit earlier. Now her toy has Dijan, a mythological creature associated with the Chinese god Hundan. Okay? Now this god has 6 feet, 4 wings, no face, and is associated with confusion and chaos. And she's dressed kind of like a woman Hawkeye with a bow and arrow. So I'm got a weird feeling that this original character is not going to be just comedic relief. I'm very interested to see where this is going to go. Alright guys, thanks for making it to the end. Let's finally talk about these 10 rings. These were discovered by the Mandarin in the Valley of Spirits. These 10 rings were actually used for the interstellar aircraft brought to you by the Dragons. Okay? The Mandarins learned how to utilize these rings for their own personal use and make them responsible for their own personal commands. They've actually learned how to incorporate them in their own minds, so they are the only ones that can use them. Now let's go over a couple of the rings. The pinky ring on the left hand is for Ice Blast. The ring finger magnifies the Mandarin's psychic energy. The middle finger is for Electro Blast. The index finger is for Flame Blast. The thumb, White Light. It emits many different types of energies. Now onto the right hand. The pinky is for Black Light, creates absolute blackness. The ring finger destroys bonds between atoms and molecules. The middle finger, the Vortex Beam. The index finger can send out a force of 350 pounds of TNT, and the thumb is a matter rearranger. It can rearrange the atoms or the molecules. Now, sorry if that sounded like I was reading off a script, because I was. But as you can see, these are sort of like mini Infinity Stones on planet Earth. This is going to be a super powerful movie, and it's going to have a huge impact on the way that the Marvel Universe takes place. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. Please smash that like button. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And please leave a comment. Let us know what you'd like us to review next. Thank you guys so much.